Hi, my name is Maribel Rosas-Azcatl, and I am an undergraduate student studying for my bachelor's in social work, and this is my capstone presentation, Addressing Challenges to Online Learning, Tools for Students, Parents, and Children Together. A social problem that is impacting children is the challenges of online learning. I have seen the struggles students have been facing within my family, at my practicum site, the elementary school I work at, and within myself. Online learning is defined as any form of education that takes place over the internet. This refers to anything from Google Meetings to completing assignments on Google Classroom. School is an important part of a child's development. This is an important social problem that needs to be addressed. The goal in creating this project is to help the elementary students within the PACT community. I decided to focus on this specific group of students because within my personal experiences, I've noticed that younger children have been facing a more difficult time with this new format of learning. Additionally, the majority of students that participate in the academic support program at PACT are elementary students. According to the literature I found, there are three major challenges elementary students are facing. The first challenge is maintaining student engagement. Children can be easily distracted and they are becoming disinterested in their education. Second is access to an adequate learning environment. Learning at home is very different from learning at school. At school, all students have access to the same resources. Meanwhile, this is not true for online learning. This includes resources such as laptops, reliable internet, lunch, and other school materials. The third challenge is access to parental supervision. This is very important among this specific group of students because they are more dependent on others for help. For example, a kindergartner will need more help reading and navigating all the websites they use in class. For my project, I created two pamphlets, one for students and one for parents. In addition, I also created an assessment form for my Practicum agency. I used the information collected in my literature review to create these tools. In social work, there is the concept of micro, meso, and macro. In order to help your client with the issues they are facing, you must help them address their problems at these three levels. Micro social work refers to helping the client at an individual level. In this situation, it's the student. Meso social work refers to working with families or communities, and in this situation, it would be the student's parents. Macro social work is working with formal organizations, and in this case, it would be parents and children together. In order to be able to help my client, this student, I would need to address the problem at these three levels and create tools for each group. To help address this problem at the meso level, I created a pamphlet for parents based on the information gathered in my literature review. The image on the right holds the information and resources that will help parents help their children. In the first column, there is a short, reassuring message to parents followed by two suggestions. The second column is composed of more suggestions. The final column includes resources available for students. All of the material comes from what the literature stated. For example, the suggestions of connecting with other parents and helping children stay connected came from the article Remote or Removed, Predicting Successful Engagement with Online Learning During COVID-19. In this article, it was found that students whose families stayed connected with other families in their class were found to have a higher engagement in their online classes. In order to address this problem at the macro level, I created an assessment form that PACT could use. On the first page, the first section is composed of basic information about the student, including their name, parent's name, the school they attend, their grade level, and the name of their teacher. This is information that would be helpful if they need to contact the student's parents or school. The next section is a series of yes or no questions created based on literature findings. For example, question 7 is, do you need breakfast or lunch? I included this question in the assessment form because various articles stated that healthy eating is vital for good academic performance. A lack of nutrition has been associated with poorer mathematics scores, grade repetition, and more. The second page includes two open-ended questions. Question 9 allows students to share any problems they are facing that were not mentioned in the previous questions. The last box is to allow PACT staff to document what actions were taken to help address the needs of their student. For instance, if the student responded that they needed breakfast for lunch, the staff member completing the form can inform the student about PACT's lunch service. With this tool, PACT can help address the needs of their students. To help address this problem at the micro level, I created a pamphlet for students similar to the one for parents. The image on the right holds the suggestions for students. In the first column is a reassuring message to them. In the second and third columns are the actual suggestions that students can follow. All these suggestions came from literature. For example, the suggestion of taking brain breaks and following a schedule came from an article from Johns Hopkins University. This pamphlet uses simple wording that elementary students can understand and includes suggestions of changes they can control. Students from disadvantaged backgrounds are also more likely to be facing these issues. If parents and students follow the suggestions in these pamphlets, they could decrease the difficulties they are facing with online learning. If PACT uses the assessment form created, they will be able to identify and address the problems. When these three groups use the tools created, students will be better equipped to handle the challenges of online learning. Since these tools were created for the general elementary school population, these tools could be used to help other communities. This is a new topic, so there is new data being found continuously. Since this project was focused on helping elementary students, further research would be needed to create tools for other groups of students. In addition, to further help students, a tool for teachers should be created. A big thank you to Dr. Wrinkle for her guidance throughout this whole project. If you want to learn more about this topic, I've included all my references at the end of this video. If you have any further questions, I've also included my email address. Thank you so much for watching my presentation.